want to go to the next panel. It's a very interesting panel. You know, this is all about trade. And when I talk about trade, it's about the business people. We felt that it was very, very important that we highlight some of the African brands that are doing amazing things on the continent. And I see some of them are joining us right now. But before we do that, I wanted to play a small video on Trade in Africa, because that is the session that we're having now. And then now our panelists can get ready and we can have our moderator, Lady Juliet, all the way from West Africa, to tell us more about them, and they can share with us their brand story about how they're building amazing African brands. So I'll go ahead and have my team just play that short video, and then we'll go to the next session where we're all about African brands. Thank you. Bernard, the video is not playing. We cannot see the screen. If you could please put the video on. All right, I guess we were just listening to the music, which is okay. We'll play the video right after. I want to go ahead and introduce Lady Juliet, and she can go ahead and introduce us to the panelists who will be speaking about their brand. So Lady Juliet, welcome, and thank you again for being part of this Africa Trade Conference. Thank you.
Good morning, Anne. Good morning. My name is Juliet Archibong. I'm Nigerian, and I am a trade promotions officer. This morning, we're hosting 4 Made in Africa brands. So this is my forte. I'm very passionate about Made in Africa brands, and I set up an agency particularly to promote the value that we have as business owners or as manufacturers in Africa. I wanted the world to know that we do manufacturing here, and we have very good quality at that, and we can do business. We can trade with other countries. And I set up an agency for this purpose. And so far, so good. We've done so well in terms of promoting these brands. Some of these brands we're going to be featuring on this call today. They'll be speaking to us about their brands and what makes them tick. One of them is Deolaa Paul-Inyang. Deolaa runs Abela Scents by Africa in Nigeria. This one is my personal person, so I'm going to be a bit partial. So I'm very in love with Deolaa's brand, and so I took it upon myself to push Abela to the heights that it should be, because I see the potential. I see that Abela can stand side by side with any other global brand. And if this is coming from Africa, so why can't we push this? The second person is Maureen Obaweya of Mourinho. Maureen deals with high quality leather bags, particularly. Now, Maureen's designs are very high end. They're like, I don't know what brand to equate them to, but Maureen's finished products are fantastic. And again, this is coming from Africa, Nigeria precisely. So I'm very partial. So I'm going to say that, I'm going to highlight that Nigeria precisely, yes. And then we've got Ruth Apostolov. I hope I got that pronunciation correctly, Ruth, please. Ruth is, in fact, Ruth shared with me the video of her factory this morning, and I was very fascinated. Ruth is a menstrual cup manufacturer in South Africa. Yes, and Ruth has a factory. She's the first licensed manufacturer for this in her country. This is amazing to know that these things actually come from Africa. The goal of this conference is to be able to promote made in Africa brands. And then what's the bottom line? The bottom line is we want to be able to reduce imports and be able to trade within ourselves. So if we are manufacturing these things, why can't we trade within ourselves? The last person is Devaksha. So Devaksha runs Ikigai Engineering in South Africa as well. They handle energy installation, strategic management for energy procurement. I believe so. I hope I got that right, Devaksha. And all of these 4 brands will be speaking on their brand. So I'm going to open the floor first with Deolaa. Deolaa, could you tell us what your brand is about? So assume that everyone on this, on this call today is a potential buyer. Tell us what exactly Abella is about, why Abella is here, and the value that Abella brings to the African market.
Thank you very much, Juliet. And thank you so much for that wonderful introduction of the Abella brand, as well as your rooting for our brand. Truly, Juliet is a personal person and she knows our brand like the back of her palms. I'm elated to speak about the Abella brand and its strides within Africa. More than that, I'm equally excited at the extent of innovation that is being churned out from Africa. African brands and startups are taking center stage globally. And I personally recognize the impact of trade as a key strategy to changing the narrative that we have once been known for. So as an African brand, we have been deliberate about speaking our own narrative and telling our own stories through the art of scent creation. We tell this story best through the eyes of our Afrocentric artistic perfumery brand, Abela by Scent of Africa, as well as other olfactory creative platforms and expressions. The Abela brand is very driven. We're driven by a deep sense of purpose. We are exploring and bridging the scent gap in knowledge, infrastructure, and public access within Africa's olfactory art space. We are very passionate about creating social and creative solutions for perfume art in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. We're equally empowering creative thinkers along our value chain by establishing platforms and expression channels for a budding community of perfume artisans and fragrance aficionados across Africa. We recently piloted the Abela Center for Olfactory Art Lagos, which is the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa, and the first in a line of centers that we envision across key African states. Like nomads, we are spreading our contagious passion for perfume artistry across the African continent. The Abela Center is an experience platform that houses an olfactory art gallery, a perfumer studio, a creative hub, a fragrance academy, a scent apothecary, a brand experience store, and an olfaction library where you can walk in and experience over 500 aromatic materials for smell insight and creative research. You can simply experience conceptual scent art, buy our scented products, attend perfumery courses, and network with other scent artists, all in one center. Collectively, our products and platforms inspire the passion for scent art as a storytelling and communication art in Africa. As we have been saying here, we know that Africa is a great continent, not without its challenges. It therefore requires that we explore extraordinary thinking in business to channel its course forward. We are sometimes daunted by the difficulty of doing business within Africa in comparison trading with other continents. But as an African brand, we are intentional about our focusing attention on trading this brand, the Abela brand, in Africa, in spite of the enormous bottlenecks that we have encountered. Our minds are constantly nagged by the need to make creative platforms more accessible to Africans. Like most other Africans in our own circle, we are not moved by the inherent barriers to our vision. We are simply motivated by the social and creative issues which we feel responsible to solve. Like never before, the African brand, as well as the Abela brand, is fired up to rise from its knees. And as a homegrown African brand, we are sure-footed. We're standing in the gap for Africa's collective creative prosperity through our own business model. And as Africa is coursing its map forward, we are working tirelessly to ensure its budding olfactory art industry, as well as its perfume artistry industry, is equally not left behind. So, as my Nigerian people would always say, right, that come what may, we move. And we shall move, but only if we all move together. Thank you.
Thank you, Abella. Indeed, we move. Indeed, we move, irrespective of anything. I hope that you all are as fascinated as I am with the Abella story and the Abella brand and all that Abella has to offer. So I would say that you can find Abella. You can contact Abella on www.dealroomafrica.com, or you can reach out to Abella on Instagram on all their social media handles. Otherwise, you can also send Deolaa a message right now on this call. Or well, for people who can send a message, well, you can reach them on either of these platforms directly. Abella is available for OEM, others, private manufacturing, private labeling, sourcing, stocking. If you're interested in retailing, wholesaling of perfumes, diffusers, room fragrances, and all of these kind of things, please reach out to Abella. Also, you can walk into experience their art center anytime that you're in Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, now we're going to move on to Maureen.O. I'm sorry, in Nigeria, we have a lot of respect, so I called Maureen Auntie Maureen. And so I'm going to call her Auntie Maureen on this call, actually. I don't lose my home training because I'm on an international call. It's not my style. So Auntie Maureen, I need you to tell the world what Maureen.O is about, why Maureen.O is here, and what makes it fit as a Made in Africa brand.
Thank you very much, Juliet, and it's really an honor and a pleasure to be on this in this discussion. I'd like to say a big thank you to the organizers of this very impactful and timely conference. I'm so excited at the opportunity that we have as Africans to collaborate and to fully integrate our businesses to really actualize the dream of one Africa and economic empowerment. My name is Maureen Obaweya, as Juliet has said, and I'm the head designer and the founder of Maureen.O Leatherworks, Mourinho Designs Limited, which is a contemporary leather design and manufacturing brand out of Africa to the world. At Maureen.O, we share African beauty, creativity, and craftsmanship with the world. Inspired by artistic innovation and designs, we create luxury leather, handcrafted pieces, and our collection spans iPads, handbags, leather bags for men and women, and other small leather goods. However, for us at Maureen.O, beauty is more than skin deep. It's actually the sustainable choice via responsible sourcing, via collaboration with other Africans and African countries, and styles that transcend time. We are passionate about sharing our stories with the world. And we have been opportuned, I've been opportuned to have traveled to quite a number of African countries by virtue of a business I had run before Mourinho, which is Life Strokes and Arts business, you know, from 1994, traveling with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council in my country, seeing African artists from Senegal to Cairo, to Ghana, to Kenya, to South Africa, and seeing the huge potential that Africa has in terms of authentic design, in terms of beauty, in terms of craftsmanship. I began to look at Africa as a place where stories can be told and shared with the world. Having seen other products in other parts of the world, I said to myself, we can do this. Africa is genuine and authentic in their designs, in their beauty. There's so much stories to share. With that exposure and those travelings all over the world and all over Africa, I had the opportunity of being a part of the Vital Voices training in 2020 and in 2010. It was a training for entrepreneurs women entrepreneurs in handicrafts. That began to make me think of what it is that I can do as my own line to showcase Africa, and hence Mourinho. Mourinho has had the opportunity of being showcased in international publications from our very first outing, from our very first collection. People saw in us what we are telling the world because we paid attention to quality, we paid attention to unique craftsmanship, we paid attention to having a product that will sit on global platforms. And as a result of that, we've had the privilege of being in exhibitions all over the world, showcased in showrooms in Europe and in America, and being featured in international publications like the Huffington Post, now HuffPost. That has given us the confidence and the assurance that in Africa, things can be done. In Africa, holding hands, we can make use of the opportunities that we have within Africa, consolidate, integrate, have collaborations, and showcase ourselves as a strong force to the world. Challenges are there, we face challenges, but like I always say, it's a journey, not an event. The challenges we face have been spoken about earlier in this conference, and I don't think it's peculiar just to the Mourinho brand, it's peculiar to all of Africa, it's peculiar to women. But our passion and our strong sense of innovation pushes us to constantly look for ways in which we can surmount those challenges and yet be the best in everything that we do. Once again, thank you for this honor and privilege and the opportunity to share about the Mourinho brand. Hello, Juliet. You're muted. Or are you giving me more time? Because I could go on and on.
Hi, Maureen. It looks like Juliet is muted, but because of time, we will see if she'll get back. But I think I would like to go ahead and move from West Africa to South Africa. And then we can be able to share more stories about what's going on in Africa. But Maureen, thank you very much for sharing your story and your brand. And I say everyone look up Maureen online, and also network here at the Africa Trade Conference so that you can see the great products that they're offering and you can take it up. So thank you, Maureen, for taking time to join us today. I'd like to go ahead and call Ruth from South Africa. If you can go ahead and just share with us what it is that you're doing with your business How are you doing it in the manufacturing space in South Africa? And share with us your brand story. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Anne. I thank you, Africa Trade. And first of all, before I start, I just want to commend you and your team for the absolute excellence in assisting. I must say, I honestly felt like I was the only client that you guys have had. So right off the top, I just need to thank you, thank your team. You were exceptional, and you've made this virtual exhibiting and really, really smooth sailing for us. Greetings, everyone. My name is Ruth Apostolov. I am the founder and CEO of She Power, South Africa's first licensed manufacturer producing in a medical grade facility that's been ISO 13485 accredited. I'm so excited. I'm talking about a baby that's just literally been born 3 months ago. We have received our license a month ago, and our license, establishment license, is from Shapra, and that's officially given us the green light to not only go ahead and manufacture, supply government departments, supply pharmaceuticals, supply hospitals, but also it's given us the green light to export into Africa. So I'm very, very excited. You know, in these unprecedented times, there couldn't be a greater need for what I'm doing than it is right now during this pandemic. She Power, who is She Power? She Power is the 13-year-old girl that's just been realizing that she's just gotten a period for the first time and don't know what to do. She Power is the 22-year-old college graduate. She Power is the 35-year-old office worker who's also studying part-time to get a degree. She Power is really every woman. And I'm so excited to be able to take my passion after the pandemic has forced me to close my 18-year-old outdoor eventing business. I'm so glad to have found what I really feel that I've been purposed in for the next part of my life's journey. I'm very excited to be able to just quickly, some of my staff have just brought some of these. Who would think that a plastic silicone gadget, which we call a menstrual cup, would change the life of a menstruating woman? So here, right here, we are the first manufacturers on the African continent, and I'm safe to say, licensed and also having my product tested at the world's top medical laboratory called BioNeeds in India. We have had our product tested for cytotoxicity, for vaginal irritation, and vaginal sensitivity. We have had a 16-week stringent testing of our product, and I'm so excited to say that all our product testings have come back on a scale of 0 to 2, which 2 should be a tolerant level. All our product testings have come back 0 for all 3 testings. And we're excited to be, when you go into the exhibition stands, you'll be able to get into the exhibition, view our beautiful, we've got a world-class ISO facility, which actually took us 6 months to get it to the ISO standards, which is a facility that is conducive to producing a medical device. While there's a lot of ignorance around about a medical grade menstrual cup, I'm here to add to you that with the product testing that's been done, this is by far the most sustainable, cost-effective, and environmentally period product that there is on the market. So my vision is to put one of these menstrual cups into the hands of every rural girl. No girl will have to choose between, no parent would have to choose between having to buy, should I buy food or should I be able to get a pack of pads for my child to continue her university this month? Pads are just as beautiful as they are, as wonderful as they are, and as familiar as they are. It's just not a product that's been sustainable, especially during this time unprecedented times of COVID, where mostly the source of receiving these packs of pads have been mostly to the channels of school deliveries. So what am I saying? We are here to say not only we've become period activists, we are period activists with a plan. My plan is to ensure that every rural girl has a menstrual cup placed in their hands. A menstrual cup is life-changing in so many ways. 60 days a year where a school-going child or a university child has to miss school equates to a complete semester, which is an absolute travesty, and it's an indictment to our communities, to our leaders of our countries. And we say, we have brought this manufacturing plant, this product that was considered to be a product of the affluent European sportswomen, this product that was considered to be a product of the competitive European horse riders, swimmers, ballerinas, and so on. We have now brought this manufacturing plant to the continent of Africa, and we say, we are here to solve the problem of a problem that is as natural as breathing. A period is not a dirty secret. A period is as natural as breathing. And I say, our leaders owe it to our menstruating women to be able to say, we are buying this on your behalf. The NGOs to say, we are going to make this available. One period cup replaces pads and tampons and sanitary products for up to 10 years. So this one medical grade menstrual cup is now able to keep a girl from their first menstruation, whether it's at 10 or whether it's at 12. That little girl never has to worry. While many of us awaiting our periods on a monthly basis is no big deal, for most menstruating girls, anticipating the arrival of that period is the most fearful, it's the most anxiety time of her life, because what is she going to do? And it's very sad because we have researched, and even in South Africa, in the rural parts of South Africa, we have our girls using dirty rags, using the feathers of chickens, if they have access to that in the first place, but most of all, they do not have access to any of this. With this menstrual cup, we're saying you don't need fancy detergents, you don't need running water. This is a non-porous medical grade menstrual cup. All it needs is literally half a cup of warm water to rinse and repeat. One menstrual cup, you can put it in very easily at the start of a period at 6 o'clock in the morning. And if you have a normal flow, you're able to, at 6 in the evening, 12 hours later, literally release, tug at the stem, press it, release the air, pull it out, and you're good to rinse it out, and you're good to go, reinsert it, go through the night, and press repeat for the rest of your period. A menstrual cup makes life everyday chores seem normal. Periods never have to be that during the course of your periods, you never have to stop. You never have to stop playing sport. You never have to think, I can't go to school. Your life continues. So we're saying, we're so excited to be the first licensed manufacturer, and safety is of utmost importance. There is a lot of myths that need to be debunked of like, how can my 12-year-old have this inserted inside of her? Will she lose her virginity? There is absolutely no scientific or no medical fact to that. In fact, 1 in 2,000 women, females, are born without a hymen. So having a hymen, having a thin hymen, having a hymen that gets torn while you're doing sport at school is not a factor about the status of a young girl's virginity. So we're saying we're here to offer training to the trainers. Most communities, I know in South Africa, have already got training and reproductive nurses that are doing community training. So it's simply a train the trainer kind of thing. Our plan is to upscale and to bring up, to identify in one of the African countries that we would love to partner with with anyone from the African continent and bring a plant to other parts of Africa. But our main focus is right now for the short term is to collaborate with distributors throughout Africa. We're saying, but other business women, we want to collaborate with you. We want you to be our distributors in the various countries. So thank you so much for the opportunity. We're very excited. We are here to not talk about the normal narrative of period poverty. We are here to say we are giving period dignity, period. Thank you so much, Anne.
Thank you, Ruth, and for sharing with us the ability for you actually going to manufacturing and doing things that haven't been done before. And we're doing this on this continent, and it's going to support women and girls all over this continent in the rural community. So thank you very much for sharing with us your brand story and what your vision is. I'd like to go ahead and now introduce Devaksha. She's also from the southern part of this continent. And the amazing story about her brand is she's both in an industry where we don't find too many women, which is energy, but she's also offering services and training, and she'll go in and tell you about everything that they're doing at Ikigai. So I am very excited to bring you on board for us to learn more about the company, the work that you're doing, so that we know where to get the services that you offer. Go ahead, Devaksha. Thank you.
Hi, hello everybody. Thanks, Anne, for the welcome, and thank you everybody on the platform. Today, I feel like the thorn amongst the roses, especially in the industry I come from. I'm usually the rose, but listening to all the other brands and the amazing achievements they've had in their endeavors they've put together has been really an eye-opener. I'd like to thank everyone for all the relevant stakeholders for allowing me to showcase my business today on this platform. It is a rare event for me. I previously was part of the Ghana Green Building Summit, and I've got to meet a lot of people in the African continent, and I'm looking forward to further engagements. So a little bit of Ikigai Engineering. Ikigai is a Japanese word meaning balance or a reason for being. And the company was formed 3.5 years ago after I resigned from a toxic situation of sexual harassment, victimization, intimidation by my managing director of an international company. I decided that I had a good head on my shoulders and that I could pursue something on my own, adding value and changing lives. Being a female in the energy and the electrical sector, I decided that it was time to change the way and the mindset of the engineering fraternity. So Ikigai Engineering is multifaceted. We are very diversified, and it's that diversifiedness that has carried us through the several lockdowns of the pandemic that South Africa has experienced in the last 2 years. To go back to Ikigai, if you look at my website and if you actually Google the term Ikigai, you'll find that there's 4 actual main areas of which I sat down and I drafted in how the 4 facets of the business will fit in. The first one is, what do you love? What is your passion? And that's one of the greatest things for me is training and development and capacity building and educating young kids. And that formed a component which is now a separate sister business called Iki Kids, which focuses on STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics classes for early learners. So we're talking the 2 to 5 year olds who are very, very able to grasp physical and mathematical concepts, and we don't give them the benefit of the doubt of that. And I saw that in my son and developed the program. We recently introduced coding and robotics, which goes up to 14 years old. And in COVID, we adapted to online and then selling the packages to the homeschool educators and the parents so they could continue the education at home in safe protection away from the virus. So that is what I love. What does the world need, which is my mission? And the world needs climate change action. It needs renewable energy. And that then became one part of the business where we actually supply and install solar water heaters and solar PVs and hybrid solutions for the residential and commercial sector. As you would know, the South African public have been hit with load shedding or outages from our utility, and this has become quite an essential part of the business. Hence my sleepless nights in the last 2 weeks in trying to get power to people, forgetting in rural areas in the suburbs as well, and trying to keep everybody on board and powered up, especially from the work from home environment, which many are still accustomed to. The third part of the business is what I'm good at, and I'm good at talking, I'm good at educating, capacity building once again, and that's on the adult side. So I serve on several boards, adding training exposure, and my main one is part of the Southern African Energy Efficiency Confederation, and my portfolio is training to bring in more women and youth into the sector. I also am an accredited trainer for the EWCITA government stakeholder agency and the private institute called the Institute of Energy Professionals Africa, which also does a lot of accredited training into Africa as well. And the third part is what can I get paid for? And that's my advisory. I'm an electrical engineer by profession and have several energy certifications in the sector. So my job is to try and empower women and try to bring in more youth into the sector. I'm part of the Gender Ministry Advisory Council for South Africa, and that's been formed to economically empower women more into the energy sector as we see renewable energy starting to take off in the country. So not so much the thorn. It may be a hard and difficult topic being an engineer in the field, but I've softened it and changed things a lot more in the last 3 years. And I see that they are definitely going to be great strides for females to join the sector and to become more part of just not being a part of the table or a tick box, but actually having a voice that is heard in the sector itself, moving away from having only being in a male-dominated field. Yeah, and that's me in a nutshell, short, simple, just as I am, and to the point. Thank you once again for the opportunity. I'm very pleased to be here.
All right, thank you, Devaksha, for telling us all about Ikigai and all the services that you're doing. And really, the goal here is to just show there are different people doing amazing things on this continent, all the way from beauty to manufacturing to services, training, energy. It's really great. And that's the whole essence of the Africa Trade Conference. We will continue to showcase African brands. We will be sharing stories so that we can all take up these goods and services and pretty much show people doing amazing things so that we can support them in kind financially and taking up the products. In fact, we didn't have time to showcase so many businesses. I do know here that we do have Hosted in Africa, which is really a great platform, a networking platform where you can receive wisdom, knowledge that is all African-centered. So those are things we're doing. At Regal Africa, we've built our brand since 2015, where we are helping our clients create wealth. And there are many brands. They're not only corporates, but actually startups and SMEs, which are scaling up to become not only African brands, but global brands, so that anyone around the world will take up our goods and services. And we totally believe that technology will enable each one around the world to take this up. And so with that, I want to thank everybody. Unfortunately, our moderator, Juliet, was having some technical problems, but she had been earlier on and shared with us the story that she does, the work that she does in Nigeria, and also with the work that she's doing at Deal Room Africa, which I encourage all of you to look into. And if all these brands, we want to thank you for taking the time to just come in and share your brand story. And we wish you all the best in your business. And I believe that with this platform, you'll be able to get a few clients so that we can be able to grow our business on this continent. And so with that, I want to go ahead and end this session. Our morning session was all focused about trade in Africa. We need to do more intra-Africa trade. That has been the challenge on this continent because a lot of the trade is either local or it's outside the continent. Those were the trade links or the trade routes. But then now we're saying with the AFCFTA, with the regional economic communities, we can be able to do more trade internally. Government is doing their part. Academia has done its part. We in the private sector are doing our part. And the businesses are just saying we're building brands, learn about us, and take up our businesses. And so with that, I want to go ahead and say thank you for joining us. Don't go away. Our next session starts at 2 p.m. East Africa time, or 2 p.m. GMT +3. And at that time now, we'll be talking about trade with Africa. We'll be talking about global opportunities that are happening around this continent, whereby, there are trade agreements that we don't know. There are global African brands that we probably don't know, and we need to get this information. So come back at 2 p.m., learn about trade with Africa. And in the meantime, we do have the Virtual Trade Expo going on. So I'd encourage you, once you go back to the lobby, there's on your right, you will see exhibition. Just going into the exhibition.